Am I the asshole for threatening divorce if my husband gets sealed in a Mormon temple with his family? We shall see. So I, 29 female, have been married to my husband, Jake, 31 male, for 4 years. We have 2 children together, 3 female, 1 male. Neither my husband nor I are religious in any capacity. My mother-in-law recently met and got engaged to her fiance, Bill, who is Mormon. I'm not 100% sure that what I'm about to say is completely accurate, but this is how my husband explains it. He says that as a Mormon, his future stepfather has to get married in the temple, but non-Mormons can't get married in the temple. So my mother-in-law has had to convert to Mormonism. According to my husband, there's a tradition where Mormon families get sealed in the church. It's a ceremony in which your family is bonded together in the afterlife. I'm sure I'm explaining it poorly. My mother-in-law wants this done. Because her fiance isn't my husband and his siblings' bio father, and they weren't already married and sealed in the church when they were born, they'd have to perform a separate ceremony for my mother-in-law, adult children, and their families. I'm not religious, but I'm not against religion, and while I wasn't a super fan of the idea, I was willing to do it. We have a family dinner recently, and my mother-in-law was getting on my husband's ass about saying things like, "Your sisters agreed. I don't want you and my grandbabies to be separated from me in heaven." So anybody that's not a part of this type of religion or any religion like this and doesn't get sealed in the church, when they pass away, they won't see their family in the afterlife? Is that what I'm getting? Because they have to, according to this, she's saying that they have to be sealed in the church to be able to see her husband, well, her son and grandbabies in the afterlife. So does that mean that everybody else can't see their family in the afterlife? So when we say, "Oh, hey, Uncle such and such, say hi to grandma for me up there," they not seeing each other? And now I'm speaking for people that's not Mormon or not a part of religion. It's just regular regular degular grandma, regular degular uncle that's not religious, that may, trust in God and believe that there's heaven and afterlife and giving their life to Christ. They're not seeing each other up there? After the dinner, my husband formally approached me about the idea. It had only been mentioned in passing and we never discussed it in detail. How his mom wanted him and our children sealed in the temple with her and how important it was to her. I was confused and asked, "What about me?" He said that since I married into the family, I'm not her family and don't need to be sealed with her. He was telling me about how it's only a ceremony and it doesn't actually mean anything because we don't follow the beliefs, but I'm still hurt. I will feel some type of way too, because what do you mean? Now all of a sudden, she probably didn't know nothing about this religion before she done met this man. Now this man done convinced her that you need to now switch to my religion. You basically have to have your son switch to my religion because him getting sealed into a church and he's not a part of that religion doesn't make sense to me, but that's just me. But even though he's married to her, it only applies to be sealed in the church for him and the grandbabies because that's her blood and she's not actually family. Baby, the level of disrespect. No, I don't believe I don't believe it's real. I don't believe that I'm going to be separated from my husband and children in the afterlife. I agree. But it's the principle of the situation. My sister-in-law's husbands were included and they married into the family. So what? She just don't like you. My mother-in-law and I haven't always gotten along very good, but excluding me from the afterlife while assuring my husband and my kids would be with her, but not me. Plus, the fact that my husband is going along with the blatant exclusion of me is incredibly hurtful. I know he doesn't believe we'll be separated in the afterlife, but the fact that he's willing to allow my mother-in-law to believe we would just be appease her is so disrespectful. It's not real to me, but it is to my mother-in-law, and my husband is enabling her diabolical plan to separate us in the afterlife. I told my husband that if he goes along with her request, it would mean divorce. I'm not even sure if the kids can be sealed without both parents, but at this point, I'm seriously reconsider our relationship anyways. I feel more disrespected than I ever have felt in my life, and my husband caused it. This is ridiculous. My friends and family think I'm being ridiculous because if I don't believe it's real, what's the actual harm? It's the principle. It's the principle. And a lot of these men have no balls when it comes to their parents, especially their mothers. Like, their mothers will tell them to jump and they ask how high. Sir, you a grown ass man. Your mother's telling you to jump and jump into the fire and you're still going to ask how high? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Some of these men do not have a mind of their own, especially when it comes to their mother. Oh, it's not real. So if it's not real, then don't do it. You should need to stand on, hey, Ma, if my wife can't be a part of it, and you should show that it's a blatant disrespect if the sisters' husbands are able to be a part of it, and just her as being as an in-law is not being a part of it, she's showing her level of disrespect. And the fact that the husband is going along with it, I'll be pissed too. I'll be pissed too. Anybody seems to understand that I'm upset about the principle of it. I'm upset over the fact that he's enabling this behavior and not the fact that we'd be separated in the afterlife. He enabled her crazy behaviors before, but has never come close to this level. So am I the asshole? One edit. The reason I swung hard towards divorce is because he's had this behavior before, and despite endless conversations, he continues to enable and excuse her behavior. This just feels like my tipping point, and I'm unsure if I'm being dramatic or not. No, you're not being dramatic. It's very much disrespectful, and I completely understand. It's not about if it's real or not. It's not. And I can clearly see that it's not about it's being religious, because the fact that you even said from jump that you two are not religious and he's just doing it to appease his mother, to like, all right, let's just do this and shut her up. It doesn't matter. Whatever is is happening is excluding you, and that's disrespectful. Absolutely not. Not to mention, I read to the comments and saw one comment stood out to me, and I was like, it's a little bit more than having to just be sealed to the church. So this comment puts, you have to be an active member for a year before you can get recommended. So Mama's been a member of the church. That's a huge commitment and comes with a lot of invasive things. Priesthood, Sunday school every week, tithing settlements annually, invasive interviews annually by both the bishop and member of the stake presidency, special underwear, giving up tea, coffee, alcohol, and other things and more. I'm ex-Mormon. Just him joining is no small feat. So his mom is just basically doing I feel like it's not even about the whole afterlife. She's just basically tricking him to be a part and sealed into their religion. To each its own. It just couldn't have been me. It just couldn't have been me. It's a level of disrespect. And I agree. I wouldn't be. And if it's not the first time, like, people don't understand. Like, the thing that gets me is also financial. A lot of people, they get so brainwashed by religions and churches like this that they may have been leaving, having a will, to their kids and grandkids. And then they became so engulfed in the church or temple. And next thing you know, they take all of that and leave it to the church. Baby, I'm just saying, good luck to you, man. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but I don't blame you. Because if he's not even standing by your side in a situation like this, even though it's not real, yeah, sometimes you have to draw the line somewhere. And I guess this is where you're going to draw that line.